And just when I thought these heroes' backstories couldn't get any sadder, man, we got one where she's not only an orphan, but on top of that, they straight up abusing this young girl and using her for money.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh?
What a society this is, man. Let's talk about it. Superhero X, episode 8. Lucky Cyan, man. What do you think about it?
So I guess she really got some luck because that plane crashed and she was the only one that lived.
Bro. And low key, like, the way they was talking about that plane crash, it was like some Epstein Island type thing, bro. Like, nobody could even talk about the truth of it.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't want to leak anything that had to do with the real reason the plane crashed. Because apparently, even though she survived, he had to keep it a secret because whoever caused the plane to crash was going to come get one last person, which is just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, luckily she was found by that reporter guy then.
Yeah,
he,
100%.
He wanted to keep it to himself, and then he decided to give Lucky Cyan to the orphanage. So,
you know, he thought that would be a better place for him. And honestly, he had good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just...
So we thought.
Yeah. Even the orphanage can be a dark place when you got powers like hers. You know what I'm saying? But I think another crazy thing too is like he legit quit his job because when he tried to report on it,
Mm-hmm.
they said they literally couldn't because it would affect people's trust values,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that would like mess up society more than like revealing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was definitely a very interesting take on their world, right? And the world building to know that like even when heroes do sometimes mess up, it's kind of like in the real world where there's like a lot of cover-ups
Mm-hmm.
for certain people, right? Because pretty much like hurting them would hurt more people than letting people know the truth about them would,
Mm-hmm.
at least from the perspective of the powers that be. So I thought that was a pretty like dark like twist really on the story, because at the end of the day that is really how their world works. Like when people get canceled essentially,
Mm-hmm.
like they lose like hella powers, like a lot of things can go wrong just from that. So it was just cool to see the journalist also kind of thinking about that, and he was just like, you know what, like sure I might not be able to do anything about it, but I don't even want to be part of this business anymore. And honestly, that was a very mature way for him to walk out of there.
Yeah.
Compared to the guy that was outside throwing the papers.
I mean, I think he actually did care more about his job than that whole thing, and that's the reason why he quit. He just wanted to actually state the truth of things, and the fact that he couldn't share the actual truth.
Yeah, and he really could have still done it though, is what I'm saying.
He would have got killed for it probably.
Yeah, like that dude was outside.
Yeah, they took him down immediately.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it was just kind of dark, honestly. Like I feel like if you look at the undertones of what was really going on in those early scenes, I was like, yo, that's low-key messed up. You know what I mean? But let's get on to Lucky Cyan, because somehow, like, she low-key already has abilities off the jump. And for someone who's like an orphan, whose kid was she?
Yeah, that I did not know, but it was funny just like seeing her use her powers on the caretaker lady, because I guess she had like a piece of candy in her hand,
Yo,
and she would like switch it to see like which hand like she picked to get the candy, and she did it like 10 times.
exactly.
So that's definitely
No, 100%. But it's not luck when it's her though.
true. That's
You know
the
what I
same
mean?
thing with that plane
I'm
crash,
taking
too.
her to the casino too, the way she was moving.
Yeah, everybody started asking her all these questions. The only one that was really smart though was that stocks guy.
Oh yeah, he moved out of there, bro. He don't work at the orphanage no more. His money moving. But honestly, I feel for her in the sense of like, because she's so lucky, it made everybody just like have a very twisted view of like her as a person, right? They didn't really view her as a person, more so like as an opportunity. So they kind of like robbed her of her childhood.
Yeah.
In the
Good 10 years, 15 years.
not straight up, you know what I mean? And so like it was definitely like a sad backstory in a funny way, because technically she's doing a lot of good, but end of the day, like no one treats her like a human being at all. She's essentially like a god to them, you know?
I mean, she definitely was, the way she was in there doing her little praise thing.
Bro, and that's the part that hurt me the most, man. The director went and got up in the maid's face like, yo, you can't be doing all that. And then as soon as he looked at the money on the ground, he immediately switched up.
Next thing you know, he's over here doing some...
Bro, selling plushies outside the front, talking about, hey, she blessed these ones. You want to be blessed too. You got to do it. So that was a little bit. I mean, a little bit. That was just messed up. That was just straight messed up. That he kind of like played with her feelings and made her feel like she could trust him, and then just did exactly what everybody else was using her for. You know what I mean? But end of the day, I feel like aside from that beginning part of our backstory, what really made the change was meeting that unlucky boy who looks just like
the orphanage. Oh yeah, he looks like who?
He looks just like Esau, new Esau.
The new Esau, yeah. I feel like they had a similar story.
And didn't new Esau's parents die?
They did.
And he had no trust value.
Yep.
Very unlucky life.
They got killed by those thuggers or whatever, and then the Esau came and saved the day. Could be him. Who knows?
I don't think it's him though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Just because the way the episode ended and they ran out.
No, it's not him. The last video with the whole Esau thing, y'all was in our comments going crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not our fault. We didn't want to spoil ourselves and really look into the backstory of the characters on the website. We just trying to like go in there blind. So I feel like if we have too much context, then it kind of ruins it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, I think what's it called? I don't really know why actually, no, it does make sense. The orphanage owner, he brought in that unlucky kid.
Exactly.
But he said that everybody deserves a chance in this place.
He also wasn't scared because even if that kid legitimately was unlucky, he's like, well, she balances him out.
Yeah, so technically it would be nothing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it was just definitely crazy to see that he was the only person who treated her like a person, honestly. Like, I'm not even surprised that she ended up going that way. And he made a really good point, too. Because he made her close her eyes and throw the marble. And he was like, imagine you're hitting, like, the fire alarm, essentially, right? Because he's like, this is going to prove that, end of the day, even if you have, like, perfect luck as far as, like, doing what you want to do, that luck isn't always perfect because it created a mess.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I definitely liked how he really shifted her perspective on her powers. You know what I mean? Because everybody else just views it from a very, like, it's only for good. And he was just like, no, it is what it is, right? You can use it for good, but it could also be used to do things that aren't good, depending on how you want to envision it, you know?
And it sucks because he only had 10 trust value for all that because of his bad luck. So that probably made it to where his shit was so low.
I guess that's why he's not Esau too, then.
Yeah.
Because he had 10. Esau probably had 0.
Esau had 0. So
you know what I'm saying?
that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was definitely crazy to see how they definitely incorporated just those ideas into one episode. I feel like it was very, like, densely packed, but also, like, really well paced. You know what I mean? But during one of her rehearsals after this incident with that boy, they finally get the balls. And I guess they've been practicing, like, a whole little routine, and that's where we find out how she really became the pop star, because she, like, halfway through the song just, like, threw her outfit off and popped off, and everybody was so shocked. Yeah, I could tell they were sitting there like, is this heat? Nah, we can't accept it.
They hated it so much.
It was crazy, man.
But they tried to escape right after that. So.
Yeah, I don't even blame them, though. But what's crazy is I didn't realize that the orphanage dude had trust value, too. Because homie was, like, wielding the wind or something.
I feel like it makes sense, though, because he has an orphanage. Like, obviously, that's going to build...
Yeah, everybody looks up to him. He has a lot of authority. But, bro, like... It just took such a dark turn because I didn't think he was going. Like, I knew he was going to want to, like, stop her from leaving, but he's like, "Nah, you're not leaving." So we're gonna have to see how she escapes from this situation and really becomes, like, the hero she is. But I definitely like this episode because, as much as I don't feel like her character is the most interesting so far, I think more so her backstory is more interesting because I really want to know, like, who she's related to. You know what I mean?
That does make a lot of sense. I'm not sure, but they only have one more episode to explain it because she only gets 2 episodes.
Exactly. Which is what I was going to say. We're not going to get to see her too much, but I do like how they're showing different parts of the
My
society.
thing is, I don't even think she's necessarily, like, a hero. I think she just sings and stuff, and that she just has natural luck and sings. So that's the reason why she's so high up on the rankings for heroes. But I don't think she's an actual, like,
that goes out there and do it. Doesn't, like, old Esau.
She's just a luck hero, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know how to explain that best, but
you wouldn't be surprised though. Maybe she got, like, an agency and they're just, like, manipulating her the way they be manipulating all these other dudes.
They probably are. But I'm just saying, like, she's not going out of her. I don't know. Maybe she does her little singing.
Times has changed, and homie wants to be a hero too, so she probably would do it for him. Remember, he told her that was his dream. It's like, well, when I grow up, I'm gonna make my trust value go up a lot more, and I'm gonna be a hero as well.
How's he gonna be a hero with all this bad luck?
True, but like now that he's attached to Cyan, like probably once they leave the orphanage, right? He's like her bass drummer or something, or bass guitarist. So he's gonna get some trust value just off of being around her. Plus, he's gonna have the inherent luck of being around her on top of that. So I bet you he definitely somehow achieved his goal.
Yeah, somewhat.
You
I don't
know?
know. I just don't understand how the whole hero system would work for her.
If anything, she'd probably have it even easier. I mean, any crime she want to pull up on is gonna go her way, based off of how her powers work.
I agree, but I don't think she's out there doing all that.
That's fair.
There's so
It's
many
not in her
other
personality
heroes.
based off
Yeah.
of how we see her. But I'm excited to see this next episode. I want to see how they tie up this little arc that they've set up. Like I said, her character to me, not the craziest, but I'm very intrigued by the world building part of what's going on with her character. You know what I mean? So we'll see if they can do another big one like they've done with these last two, because they've been cooking. They've been
They're
cooking.
definitely moving. I'll give you that.
And what was the other thing we noticed too? I feel like we noticed something with the reporter. His daughter was a hero
The reporter dude that saved
Cyan. He had a daughter, and his daughter was like going really high in the rankings at an early age.
Yeah, it was probably Queen. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the actual.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we haven't like looked
website.
up the lore, but we know like kind of the names of all the top 10 heroes right now. Like that's her design did look kind of like what the Queen design is, at least from
Exactly,
the
that's what I'm
hair.
saying. I'm assuming it's Queen. I don't know if it is. If y'all can tell us and let us know, but I'm pretty sure.
Don't spoil no more. Just let us know who she is.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be an interesting angle as well. I also want to see how that plays into Cyan's story. Maybe they like meet up at some point or face off. I don't know. But so far, I'm liking it. Y'all let us know what y'all thought of this episode of To Be Hero. It was a really good setup episode. Told us a lot more about the world, man. But aside from that, man, like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you later. Peace.